going on.
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family. Smoochie.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock. My guys, Lucas Widman, Edward Lewis. Guys, we told you yesterday about the massive 180-degree change by Major League Baseball, reversing course after decades and ending the lifetime ban for Pete Rose from baseball. Of course, you go back all the way, guys, to 1989. Bart Giamatti bans Pete Rose for betting on baseball. And Pete was never, ever again supposed to be eligible to work in the sport and to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. But that all changed yesterday when Rob Manfred, as Lucas and I talked about on yesterday's show, said, look, lifetime bans now end once somebody dies. And with that, Pete Rose is now, again, not banned. He will be eligible for the Hall of Fame, and we will see if he ultimately gets in. Now, we obviously know over the years, Pete had made it very clear, guys, that he did not want to go into the Hall of Fame posthumously. If they weren't going to do it while Pete was still here alive, he wanted no part of the Hall. Well, obviously, we broke the story back in September. Pete died at the age of 83 years old. Nonetheless, he is again now about to be eligible. So, what do those people closest to Pete Rose think about Major League Baseball's decision? That's the exact question that we asked a guy who is not just the Reds broadcaster for decades. He was that. We're talking about Marty Brennaman here. But Marty was, through Pete's time as a player and the Reds manager, and then after his baseball career, was one of the closest people in Pete's life. We spoke with Marty earlier. We asked him, hey, what's the thought amongst those closest to Pete? Probably not what you expect.
I'm not happy about it. I'm just trying to reconcile in my own mind why they waited as long as they did. And then within a matter of months, after Pete's passing in September, now they come out and they announce in grand fashion that they have lifted the suspension and made he and Shoeless Joe Jackson, there may be others I'm not even aware of, eligible to be considered for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I just felt that he had served his jail time, if you will, far longer than he really should have had to do it. And the fact that they rushed to make him eligible within a matter of months, to me, was the wrong way to go about doing business. I think the family is probably jubilant, because I know for a fact that some months ago, after Pete died, his daughter Fawn, who is his oldest child, had a meeting with Rob Manfred in New York. And I think they basically met with him to ask him to reconsider the situation relative to Pete and put him back on the list to be eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think whatever her presentation was and however that conversation went, apparently it went very, very well because of what happened yesterday.
I agree. I think it's a bit unfair, I guess. It's not okay for him to be eligible on the Hall. Let's say if he's on his deathbed at 79 years old, but 3 weeks later when he's under the ground, it's okay then? I agree here. I would like to see the rule amended a little bit, perhaps a lifetime ban maybe last 50 years. And then that way, you know, if you make it that far, you make it that far. If not, that's the ban you took. I think it feels insensitive, I guess, to be like, well, once you die, we could celebrate all the accomplishments you had in the MLB. All of that said as well, once you're eligible for the Hall, it doesn't mean you're going into the Hall either. So this doesn't really mean much. I mean, Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player ever, and he's still not in the Hall of Fame, right? So this doesn't do much for me, other than like Mr. Brennaman saying it just feels like it's a performative thing. It's lip service to the Rose fans and the Reds fans. Be like, see, well, the Hit King's eligible. It's not our problem anymore. And I don't know, it feels a little weird.
No, and I think, Ed, obviously they were getting a lot of pressure, and not just like Brennaman said there from the family, but you even had everyone from Reds fans to baseball fans to the President of the United States and Donald Trump, who were putting pressure on Major League Baseball. I mean, Trump a couple of months ago absolutely ripped Major League Baseball for not doing this. So I think they were starting to feel the pressure, Lucas.
Yes, and at the same time, though, I do agree that you need to put these kind of people in the Hall of Fame, you know, regardless of, you know, I know it's apples and oranges here with Pete Rose and Barry Bonds, but ultimately, at the end of the day, these are people who make the sport so popular. But also, I understand that rules are rules, and he knowingly went against them. But I also don't agree this should be a lifetime thing for anybody. I think there needs to come up with a way, and I've said for years, when it comes to like steroids, put them in the hall in some way, like in a different section or something. If just recognize these people in some way. I hate how we pretend like this didn't exist, or that the history just somehow omitted these people because of things that they've done. Yes, rules are rules, but at the same time, this is Pete Rose that we're talking about. All-time hit king. It absolutely deserves to be in there.
Yeah, no question. It'll be very interesting to see what the baseball writers, what the voters end up doing. Alrighty, fellas, let's move on to the NBA playoffs. I'm sorry, Lucas, in advance here for this segment. Obviously, as people watched last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers, in shocking fashion, end up losing in 5 games to the Indiana Pacers. The Cavs were probably the best team in the regular season. At least they were by record, no question, but probably by play too, the best team in the Eastern Conference. They were a team that a lot of people thought were certainly going to make the NBA Finals, definitely the Eastern Conference Finals, but not meant to be. They go down again in 5 games to the Pacers. They dealt with injuries, but they had most of their guys last night. Donovan Mitchell was out there despite getting hurt the game before, Lucas, and they, again, go down in 5 games to the Pacers, who now move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, Lucas, it was after the game where Donovan Mitchell, the team's best player, a guy who was a all-league player, he is that good, you could tell that he really feels like they did not reach the heights that they would have and should have reached this year. He had a message for the people in Cleveland. Take a look.
I go to bat for every guy in that locker room. Like, willing to die out there for those guys. We are for each other. We get so, like, winning is not easy. Some things have to go right, so you got to play well. You got to capitalize on opportunities. Like, I'm obviously, you look at around the league, like, it's just, you got to capitalize. And we have a window with this group. I believe in everybody in here. We believe in each other. And that's what sucks, man. It's just, we're a good team. So, get in the gym, weight room, nutrition, whatever the hell it is, and get back at it, because y'all gonna write us the off, man. But we'll be back. We let city down, let each other down. We'll be back.
Okay, yeah, so as you guys can tell, I'm wearing black today because I am mourning the death of the 2024-2025 Cleveland Cavaliers season. I will start this off by saying it is nice to see Donovan Mitchell care. As fans, it really hurts to see players brush it off. Even last week, LeBron James going on his podcast and saying, I'm not losing sleep over this. This is a team sport. Donovan Mitchell has nothing to be upset about. He put it all on the line, his body every single night. He was hitting the hardwood, the physical
35 points last
injuries
night
that he was putting himself through and playing through. You could tell that he was trying to win these games. To point out that fans are heartbroken, yes, that is absolutely true. This entire series did not go the way that we expected, even though during the regular season, the Indiana Pacers had our number. You thought when the playoffs came that we would make the adjustments that we needed to do in order to, make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That just did not happen, and it was heartbreaking. Watching last night, even being down 3-1, you thought maybe if we win this game, we just have a 2-game series and we can win both of those. We had the best record in the East. I drank the Kool-Aid throughout this entire season. The way that we were able to find new ways to win, I was like, no matter what is put up against us, we'll figure it out. We just never did. There aren't going to be many changes to this roster. And, we might bring Ty Jerome back. He was so hot and cold throughout this series specifically when we needed to rely on him. I do not have great hopes going into next season. Yes, we could still very well have the best record, but what did that get us this year?
Well, it's so daunting. Lucas, too, it's so daunting to have to think about going through 82 games winning another playoff series just to get back to the same place and then hopefully win that series. It's so daunting.
And the thing is about this franchise, yes, we are so grateful for 2016, but everyone is going to say, yeah, but you had LeBron James. Well, yeah, was that our problem? Is that supposed to go against us? But this one would have felt so nice knowing that, we did trade for Donovan Mitchell, but a lot of these people, we drafted, we acquired in free agency, built a team that was actually more than just one person. I know we had Kyrie and Kevin Love in 2016, but this one would have felt so special for the city, and it would have meant so much more, and it would have proven that, yes, we can win without LeBron. And now it's like, what, do we bring him back now and try and win another? I personally don't feel like that is the way to go, but it hurts. This one hurts a lot, and I had so much heartbreak during the LeBron era, but this one is, this one's devastating.
Up next, Antonio Brown says that he loves Tom Brady despite their past issues. The question is, should we believe him? We'll hear from AB himself when TMZ Sports returns right after this.
What's your relationship like with Antonio? We've had him on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted the best for him. I think I saw a spark in him that I thought if put in the right place, how incredible it could be for not just the team he was on, but for his life and what he could accomplish. And, there was just a lot of things that were happening in his life and that he needed to focus on. And the team decided, the Patriots said, no, we're not dealing with this. And the league had some issues, and then we ended up going to Tampa. And then he came back after a suspension in Tampa. And I just thought, okay, if I can help him, I'd love to help him because he'd help our team, and it'd help his life. And then, I always root for the best.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike, Lucas, and Edward. Of course, that was Tom Brady on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast recently, guys, opening up about his relationship, his failed relationship with his former teammate, his former friend, Antonio Brown. Well, where does Antonio stand? Where does AB stand on this whole feud? Obviously, Antonio has had some not really nice things to say about TB12 over the years, nor has he had some nice things to say about TB12's life and his family and his wife, Giselle. Well, we saw Antonio out in Los Angeles, and on the heels of Tom's comments, we asked AB about the relationship.
You see the interview Tom gave about you? He said, he always wanted the best for you.
I know. You think he really helped my life?
Do you think that?
I think traditional marijuana helped my life.
Yeah. So what do you think about what Tom Brady said?
I feel like, yo, shouts out to Tom. We did win the Super Bowl together, so. Yeah, shout out to Tom.
Do you have, any desire on fixing that relationship with Tom Brady?
Yeah, I love Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady gave me a good opportunity to play football. I don't know about the life thing. I think he's going too far.
What do you make of this?
I think it shows further proof that his ex behavior is much more of a facade than I think he even wants to really admit, or that all of us want to admit. I think it proves that whatever he's posting on his social media accounts is often for clicks or money or something like that, or to be famous. Because
I agree.
I don't think Antonio hates Tom Brady at all, and I don't think really if Tom Brady was sitting with Antonio, Tom would hate Antonio at all. But I think when you post all this stuff on Twitter for clout and clicks and all that stuff, I think it gets a little bit mixed in. So I think all that's so fake, and I think in an honest moment, Antonio, as he just did, would say Tom's great, and I love it.
Yep, clout is a disease, and I think AB has it. And the thing is, Tom not only went on a limb once, but twice for Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
And who knows, if he didn't do that, if Antonio Brown ever made it to another team, I'm sure there would be a few that would give him a chance, but he probably wouldn't have been playing for a Super Bowl. And so that ring that he's still displaying to this day while he's out at Craig's, he has Tom Brady to thank for that. So get your giggles out and everything. But hey, Tom is even saying, I wanted to help him as a person too.
Right.
It's just not a good look for him to laugh it off or make fun of him at his expense, when I do truly feel that Tom Brady, yes, he brought him in because he knew he could catch a football, but I also think he saw a guy who could really use some help. And Tom Brady, has never had scandals or issues that, got him in trouble with the law or anything like that. He's a stand-up guy. He saw someone that he thought he could help and wanted to assist. And, props to him for trying to make that happen.
Right. I think Antonio Brown took this stuff, especially with Giselle, when Tom's going through the divorce. They've got kids. I think he took that way too far. I think it's fair to say, on the other hand, Antonio Brown has made himself into a media force, for better or worse. So the clout stuff has seemingly worked. But at what expense? Coming up next on TMZ Sports, there's a brand new movie coming out about John Madden and Al Davis, played by two A-list actors. That right there, not a picture of the actual guys. You will never believe who those actors are. Two names you will know in character. We'll reveal them next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike, Lucas, and Edward. Guys, this is pretty awesome. So there is going to be a movie about John Madden's life that is going to come out. There are a bunch of really powerful and influential and talented people working on this movie, including Nicolas Cage, who is playing John Madden. And the resemblance is absolutely uncanny in my mind. I am blown away by this, Lucas.
Yes, and as you see right there, that is the first look that Amazon MGM Studios put up, and that is Bale on the left. You can't even tell that is him.
Wait, Christian Bale's in this too?
That is Christian Bale. He is playing the role of Al Davis, and then, of course, on the right, you have Nicolas Cage, who is playing the legendary coach. But, spot on. And a lot of these biopics, sometimes, you look at it and you go, that doesn't work for me. This absolutely does. Now,
right, because I think, Lucas, you want to get a big-name actor to play the role so people go see the movie, but a lot of times that person doesn't look like the character, but that looks like John Madden to me.
Right, and then when they announced that Nick Cage would be Madden, I was even scratching my head a little bit.
You're like, what?
Are you sure that the National Treasure guy? But anyway, so this movie is actually directed by David O. Russell. Now, that name is going to be familiar to you if you've seen, Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle. I could go on and on and on. He's done so many movies with Jennifer Lawrence, and this is going to follow his journey, as a coach, but then also the Madden video game franchise, and then becoming a commentator. So hopefully maybe we get a scene about the turducken, because that was all the craze for John Madden. But this is going to be a huge thing, and I think with all the people that are lined up on it, you also have Katherine Hahn and John Mulaney. So star-studded cast, top to bottom, and we don't have a release date just yet, but I know football fans can't wait to watch this one.
Yeah, I'm also super curious how they basically turned this into kind of an action movie, right? Nicolas Cage and Christian Bale are almost like exclusive action stars. And John Madden, as you guys know, wasn't exactly the most action star guy, right? He was a friendly coach, a friendly announcer, and a friendly video game sponsor. So I'm very intrigued how this goes. That's a star-studded cast, and I can't wait to see what they do.
No, I can't either. You look at this cast, and you look at the director, the people producing it, and you just know it's going to be a top-quality film. I think this is going to be a big hit. John Madden is absolutely beloved, not just for the video game, but he's a Super Bowl winning coach. The guy was a legendary broadcaster, and I cannot wait. And as we are looking at all these photographs, I'm trying now to make sure that it's actually a picture of John Madden and not Nicolas Cage. They've nailed the look. I think this is going to be a big hit. We can't wait. A minor league baseball official scoops up a bat dog's poop with his bare hands. You gotta see this for yourself when TMZ Sports rolls on right after this.
Justin Bieber has made between $500 million and $1 billion.
TMZ investigates. Is he unraveling before our eyes?
He definitely looked out of it.
Those videos were scary.
The power struggle fueled by money.
He was on the verge of financial collapse.
And accusations of betrayal.
For the first time in a long time, he has a circle of people that are protecting him.
Find out the source behind his latest struggles.
They are saying this is a cult.
Absolutely.
TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber. Stream on Hulu now.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike, Lucas, and Edward. Guys, my favorite story by far of the week. There was a minor league baseball game going down. The Kannapolis Cannonballers playing. Now, they don't have a bat boy. They have a bat dog. Like this cute golden retriever will run onto the baseball field and retrieve the bat. Well, the dog took a little bit of a pit stop. Had to go to the bathroom. What better place than this big old field? He goes to the bathroom, guys. Watch what happens next. Somebody had to clean it up. Did they go get something to pick it up with? Did they grab a glove? No. Bare hands. Watch this.
As Miss Casey Betty has made her appearance, and there you go. The bat dog has made her presence felt.
Oh.
It's a numero dos.
Oh.
Behind home.
I mean, good size to that thing. Whoa, and he touches the gate. The poop is on the gate now.
Look, it's the bottom of the third inning of a May minor league game. I think we can pause this for 60 seconds to go get some kind of PPE to put our hands on this thing.
There's gloves all over the place, Ed. It's a freaking baseball game. Everyone's got a glove.
Why are we in such a hurry to get this off the field? In fact, just leave it there. Who cares? They have cleats on us. This is the most wild video ever.
Oh, that poor dog has no idea what it did, but shout out to the entertainment. There's something about dogs whenever they're handling their business. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to stop there.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's so funny. They're looking around like, what do you want me to do about it?
This, Lucas, is a judgment-free zone. You pal, are into whatever you're into. God love you. It may be illegal. We don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Hold on, once more. Oh, look at that. Nothing. Oh, he's looking around and saying, who's judging him? Look at that. All right, I don't know what to say. Best moment in minor league baseball history. Absolutely love it. There's nothing we can say to top that, so we were just going to end the show here. Whatever we do tomorrow, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not going to be as good as that, but we will do our best. Have a good night. We'll see you then.
I'm a lawyer.